Sup guys, my name is Mikey for the TheYugiMonzNetwork with a dual video and deck profile for you for Blackwings. One of my favorite decks of all time, hands down. If you guys know me from my other channel and a few other channels, I love Blackwings. They're my absolute favorite deck when I saw them come out, and there were so many innovative ways to play it, and so much fun. Oh my god, it was great. Nowadays, it's not really meta, but you know, it can combo off pretty nicely if you don't get interrupted. Even if you do get interrupted, like not heavily, you can still find the ways to win. So I'm going to show you the build that I have. I'm going to show you how the deck plays first. So I did net deck off another deck, and I did modify it afterwards because some cards did get banned from it. So I'm gonna show you what this deck is all about. So let's start with this one against Dark Lord. So my hand is pretty bad, I'll be honest. But I have 3 monsters to summon. That's all you really need for the turn. White Strix effect. When it's wing summoned, you get to summon a level 4 Darkwing Beast from your deck, and its effect is negated. So you have instant access to Zephyros as soon as you summon this thing, which is insane. So now you're gonna use these two to exceed into 4 Strix, and then you get another free special summoning monster. So you can get Chris or Bora, or get Chris or Bora depending on your situation. And now you have Zephyros' ability, which bounces Black Whirlwind and summons itself back, which lets you special summon the Bora. Now you link into Verte. In this case, I could have done more plays if I had Simoon, but since I didn't, I made the best of what I could. So I use those two to summon Verte, and then I'm going to summon the Simorgon this turn, and then use Soul Shave. What Soul Shave does is by paying half your life points, you target a Raid Raft to exceed from your graveyard, summon it, and then use it as material and to summon one monster rank 2 or higher. No, sorry, rank 2. So 2 ranks higher. So you summon Infinity, use Infinity to summon Verte after you use Red Eyes Fusion, and you have a pretty set up board. Unfortunately, he had the Gamma Seal. But, you know, I negated his trade-in because he had 3 cards in hand. And if he had something after this, after the Gamma Seal, he got it. But luckily he didn't. And right now, during the end phase, the Warmth effect activates, which lets you summon a Wing Beast monster from your hand or deck equal to the number of open spell and trap card zones, which is kind of broken. So this is exact game after you destroy the monster. Exact 8,000. Which is amazing. Let's move on to the next replay. Okay, next replay is for Blue Eyes. Let me show you what this guy's all about. So, sorry, wrong side there. So I didn't really need Simoon. I just had mass special summoning here. So let's see. Standard play from what you saw before. 4 Strix, got a free special summon, set the Soul Shave. But I have a little more I can do here. Let me see. Did the Smorg, did the Verte, Soul Shave it. Oh, did I keep the Gale? Ah. And this is just, you know, 1-turn game. This is insane. He had nothing. Like, it looked like it was a Blue Eyes Chaos Max deck. I'm not sure what it is. We'll take a look into it later. Next replay. Okay, the next replay was against Malefic, and this was a little bit scary. Just a little bit. I believe I went first. Yes, I did. So I drew the Allure. Unfortunately, all I could do here was Red Eyes Fusion because I didn't have much of a turn. Like, really. I drew the Dark Magician, I drew the Red Eyes Fusion, I double allured into realistically nothing. So, Dragoon was all I had. And I remember this duel specifically. My opponent said GG after I summoned the Dragoon. Like, he drew the Gamma Steel, and like he was literally about to win the game. He had free swings. He was actually 200 points off from killing me. This was like an insane comeback. Oster, summon. Nothon gives me an additional summon, so I got another monster off of this. And I just have the full combo after that, which is insane. So this was amazing, because watch what happens. Yes, the Smorg, and then I take Avarice, putting back my monsters, hoping to get something good. And I really didn't, but I was able to stop him from killing me. So, because he's going to use... He can't special summon monsters anymore. And I Ash Blossom his Malefic World. He has nothing. He literally just lost. Like, that was an amazing comeback in my opinion. So, next duel. Okay, the last duel is against Trap Trick. Or, not Trap Trick, sorry, Trap Deck. This was an annoying deck. It was Paleozoic. Oh, not Paleozoic, sorry. It was just all traps. Like, literally I had no breathing room. Literally I had no breathing room. So I had to play around all these traps. And I hated it. So instead of extending my play, instead of doing anything, just free swing, just free swing. He has Imperm, he has the Trap Trick Trap Hole, like, I really hated this turn. So, well, I just kept swinging. I just didn't want to risk summoning anything, honestly. But I figure he let all that happen, which was kind of weird. He could have stopped something. He could have stopped like Trap Hole Nightmare or Imperm me, but no, he just let me summon a free Walking Towers. So he had nothing after that, honestly. Okay, that was it for the dual videos replays. Now let me show you the actual deck with side deck, and I can tell you approximately how much this deck is going to cost. So obviously you have the Dark Magician Red Eyes, one of each. I play 3 Nibiru because I am still afraid of uh, board, an actual board that like has multiple negates like the ones I make. So any combo decks that I see that will make a negating board, I will just Nibiru them. Like as soon as I find a good opportunity, like even the BA deck that one of my friends play is amazingly annoying. Like they get 5 negates in the turn. If I don't Nibiru them, I lose. Like even Ash doesn't stop that combo. So that's why I still play Nibiru. I know it's still a side deck card right now, but I feel more safe in Blackwing's main decking it. 3 Simoon. I know some people prefer 2. I've seen builds that prefer 2, but I like 3. I like to see the card. And if you guys don't know what Simoon does, if you have no monsters and have this card in your hand, you can banish a Blackwing from your hand to activate a Black Rowan from your deck, and then choose to either send this card to the graveyard or summon it. Now, this summon is due to an effect, so this normal summon doesn't count towards your normal summon for the turn, which is insane. This gives you basically using this effect gives you 2 normal summons, and by doing Simoon, getting the Whirlwind, and then summoning it, you get Auster, and then from using Auster, you get back the monster you banished. So you instantly have 3 monsters on the field off 1 card, which is really stupid. Then you have 3 Chris. The good thing about Chris, besides the fact that it can summon itself, is that you can't destroy it by card effects once a turn. And that is amazing to have, because even if they torrential you, you still have this card. 3 Bora, and then 1 Zephyros. You only need the 1 Zephyros. I play 3 Auster too. Only because Auster is always a good card, whether in grave or in hand. Because in grave, if you summon out Full Armor Master or Blackwing Dragon and use this effect to place counters, Armor Master, Full Armor Master, or Blackwing Dragon can use its effects. 1 Barrier Statue for the Simorg, as you guys saw. I play 2 Gale currently, only because the Bora and the Chris is really all you need, since these Link monsters don't let you summon out level 3s, so it's still a good searchable card if you normal summon Simoon or Zephyros or anything other than Auster or the level 1s or 2s. It's just really hard to get this card. That's all it really is. It's just really hard, and to hard draw is really good, but you don't want to brick in your deck. 1 Gladius, only because it's very specific to how to summon it. You have to only have one Blackwing monster on the field to summon this card, to special summon this card. So there, like you saw, there are times where I did have to use it, but there are times where I can't summon it, so it becomes a deck card, unless I banish it for Simoon. Then that's a different story. 3 Ash Blossom, which I'm still afraid of I'm still afraid of deck searching. I'm still trying to stop your opponent, right? You can play Bell too if you want, but honestly, I don't think Bell does enough. I don't think Bell or Ash does enough in the current meta. Like, yeah, you can stop one card, but if they can continue their combo, then what's the point of stopping that one card? They're just one combo less. So, 1 Blizzard, 1 Harmattan, and 1 Orochi, since they can all only be summoned once they can only be special summoned once through their own effect, except for Blizzard, Harmattan, and Dust. Blizzard at 1 is good only because you don't need to see this card unless your opponent disrupted you or they broke your board and you need a recovery play. Blizzard is a really good recovery card. So that's the main reason I play it. It lets you recover a board that you lost. And on top of that, if you have an additional normal summon with the Simoon or with the Nothong, then this card becomes really scary. 3 Allure, 1 Red Eyes Fusion, Soulshade Force, which lets you rank up Force Strix into Infinity because it lets you use Force Strix in the grave to summon a monster that's 2 ranks higher. I still play Pot of Avarice. Even though it's at 3, you don't need to see it more than once, because by the time you make your board, it's basically game over, depending on how the flow is. 3 Whirlwind and 3 Blackbird Close. The only counter trap for Blackwings, and it gets you a free special summon, so it's a really good card. For the extra deck, you have Verte Anaconda, which lets you, use Red Eyes Fusion to summon the Dragoon. You have IP. IP, I do use it in some cases with the Verte on my opponent's turn to go into an Apple or a Boral Sword. So IP is still good there because when you use Simoon, you're locked into Darks, so you can't really utilize some more. You utilize more the Dragoon play, and it's kind of a less efficient combo if you use Simoon, but it's still strong nonetheless. 1 Rise Strix, when Wing Summon, you special summon a level 4. And then if you use a Raid Raptor monster's effect, Raid Raptor Exceed monster effect, you can set a rank up magic, which you'll set Soulshade. 1 Simorg, if your opponent cannot target this card or Winged Beast with card effects, and if it were to be destroyed by battle, you can show 1 other Simorg card, but you don't need that effect. You prefer to use the effect that lets you summon this thing, the Barrier Statue, which is insane in its own right. Your opponent can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! That's all this is. 1 Apollosa. I did not update this deck to reflect the Underworld Goddess, but I did swap out the Boral Sword for the Underworld Goddess. Now, not to say Boral Sword isn't good in this deck. It's still amazing, especially when you use it with IP, so it can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects. And it's just a really scary monster at that point. Like, not even Dragoon can destroy it. So it's still a good card to have, but I prefer to use the Goddess just to disrupt my opponent. 1 Force Strix, 1 Infinity, 1 Nothong, Hawkjoe, Raikiri, and Chidori are all situational cards in the deck. They're not unnecessary. If you want, you can use a turn of this deck for a synchro turn and utilize these cards to bring out full armor and just sit on full armor, Verte, and Dragoon, which is still a strong turn. A full armor is unaffected. It's a 3k. How are you getting over this card except by beating over it? So it's still good to have. Like you saw me use full armor against the trap deck. It's still really good. 1 Blackwing Dragon for the counter trap, and the 1 Dragoon. Now side deck, I play 3 Phantasme because I'm still, links are still a thing. They never won't not be a thing, especially in Dragon Link and whatever other link decks there are out there. I still use it. 3 DD Crow, Impermanence, Ice Dragon Prison, and I recently cited this card in 3 Grand Horn of Heaven. My reasoning behind this is simply because, sorry about that, simply because if your opponent special summons a monster, then you're forcing them straight into the into the battle phase. So, and then what are they gonna do after that? They go into the main phase 2, they make their combo, they can't OTK you. They can only do what they can to disrupt your board after that. Which is really, really good. Like if they do one inherent summon, like for example, if they summon Blue Eyes Alternative and you activate this, they're forced into their main phase 2. What are they gonna do in their battle phase? So this does stop your opponent for a turn, or at least stop them from OTKing you for a turn. And also that way, if in their main phase 2 they do make a board and you have Nibiru in your hand, you literally kill their whole turn and their hand. And if you have a combo for your next turn, you can potentially win the game. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below about this deck, how you would alter it, if you could change something, what change it. The overall cost of this deck, if you were to build it in real life, is pretty expensive. So starting with the Zephyros, well, all the Blackwing cards you can get as rares or commons. I believe Zephyros got reprinted as a common. All these Blackwings are commons except Chris, which I don't believe got reprinted. I could be wrong on that. Allures are common. Red Eyes Fusion is common. Soul Shave is a dollar card. Pot's a dollar card. Whirlwind, Close. This whole deck, except for maybe Nibiru, Simoon, and I think Chris and Ash Blossom is inexpensive, along with the extra deck. So Verte, obviously Verte, IP, Apollosa, and Dragoon are the most expensive cards here. Phantasme, Didicro, Impermanence, Ice Dragon Prison is expensive too, depending on which rarity you want to get. So excluding the side deck, this deck will run you about roughly $200, roughly, if you want to build it. So let me know in the comments what you think. How would you change it? And I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you guys want to see a live duel, let me know. Or if you want to see see this deck against meta, let me know. I'll be more than happy to do it. I love this deck. So hope you enjoy, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.